lookup function, it displays the input expression based on the offset. Offset means whatever we are giving the value input, that is offset. Offset determines which value we need to we need to display display either number or first or last function. First either number or first or last functions. Likewise, it should be there. And in this, if I'm going to write the syntax of lookup is nothing but syntax lookup of lookup of expression. Whatever expression will be there, that expression will be there, comma offset, offset will be there. If I'm going to write practically how it is going to implement means, here if we are going to see at this level, and I'm going to write some functions will be there, lookup of sum of cells will be there. Here function is nothing but lookup of, I'm going to write some expression, whatever expression will be there, that expression is known as, if I'm going to give sum of cells is the expression. In this sum of cells, I'm going to give something like offset is nothing but 1. I'm going to give offset should be 1. If I'm going to give negative 1, then it is going to give one value, and 1 means next value. Automatically sum of cells, it is going to give the next value. If we am going to give minus 1 means it is going to give the previous value of lookup. Likewise, it is going to work. Here we have something like known as product will be there, and we have sum of sales will be there, sum of sales will be there, and we have some lookup of sum of sales will be there, lookup of sum of sales will be there, lookup of sum of sales will be there, and then we have lookup of sum of sales expression we have given, and we have not given any offset. I have given offset will be there. Here I have given lookup of sum of sales will be there, and I have some other function like lookup of sum of sales minus 1, it will be there, lookup of sum of sales minus 1 will be there. And if I'm going likewise, and we have something known as first will be there, and we have something last will be there, and final we have something index will be there. Likewise, we have all the things will be there. If I'm going to see this, all these things, how it is going to work and how it is going to be means, here always product A, and as per our knowledge, it should be sales should be 100, and product B will be there, and sales should be 200, and product C will be there, and sales should be 300, and product D will be there, and sales should be 400. Likewise, it should be values will be there. If I'm going for at lookup of sum of sales, here lookup of sum of sales comma 1 means it is going to take the next value. That means 200 will be there. And lookup of sum of sales minus 1 means 100 previous value. We don't have any previous value. That's why it is going to take null. And first value should be, it is going to be a 0. At 0 state, last should be, it should be in the form of 3. Like next 3 means it need to go like it should be first should be 200, and second should be 300, and third should be 400. Last value should be 400 should be 3, and index should be, it is going to give index value should be 1. Likewise, we have all the values will be there. Here lookup of sum of sales comma 1 is nothing but here it should be 300, and here it is going to give 100 should be previous value, and first value should be, if I need to go first value, it should be -1. If I need to go for last, it should be 2, and index should be 2. Likewise, we have the values will be there. Then it should be 400 will be there, and we have something like here previous value should be 200 will be previous value, and first of -2 will be there, and last of 1 will be there, and here index should be 3 will be there. And if you are going to see here, lookup of next value 400 of next value, we don't have any next value, that's why null value will be there. Here we have 300 should be value will be there, and here we -3 if I need to go for first, and here we are at last only, that's the reason 0. Then index should be 4. Likewise, we are going to make use of some lookup function will be there. Here we have something known as lookup function of first and last. If I'm going to give first and last lookup function, means just see how it is going to work. Means here we have 400 will be there, then it should be null value will be there, and it should be 300 and -3 0 4. Here if I'm going to write lookup function of sum of sales, lookup function of sales sum of sales comma, I'm going to write first function, and same comma, like lookup of lookup of sum of sales comma last. If I'm just saying that, it should be last function will be there. And here if you're going for index will be there, index value sum of sales for first, means always it is going to give first value should be 100, and last value should be, it should be 400 will be there, and it is going to give likewise 100 will be there. Here at this stage we are going to get 100, at this stage we are going to get 400 will be there, at this stage we are going to get some 100 will be there, and at this date we are going to get some 400 will be there. At final stage 100, because first value we always it need to show lookup of first value, it should be 100 only, lookup of last value always it should be 400. That's the reason it is going to make use, and this function is going, we are going to use so many times we are going to use to get some outputs will be there, lookup of function will be there, and this is how we are going to make use. And here we have something known as I think we have seen all the 8 table calculation, I feel, like percent difference from percent from running total, and we have some percentile moving calculations, all these things will be there. And then we have some important function will be there, something known as, I have not explained about that, attr function will be there. If attr function means it will change the attribute, because we have discussed at that time, whenever we are going to make use of how we are going to use attr function, means to change the behavior we are going to make use of attr function will be there. Once attr function has been completed and we have some calculations, and something we need to do some perfectly things, here we have something known as likewise, and we have some advanced calculations will be there, advanced calculations.
Anil, sorry to stop you here,
Yes,
but
yes,
I mean the syntax. I mean the previous function that we looked at, lookup function.
yes.
I mean, can you tell us what is the real time use, or where is it used in a real time project?
Whenever you need to go for first place, they are going to use, like if you have some customer name will be there and the highest sales will be there. Okay, and either you are doing like ascending or descending order, If you need to compare each and every time, like first customer, highest sales customer, on that time you need to make use of lookup function of sum of sales comma first. Each and every time it is going to contributing his sales value with another person. On the time that function is going to be mostly we are going to use.
So why can't we use rank instead of this lookup function? Can we use that as well?
Rank, it is going to for assign, it will assign afterward, there is no use, just it is going to assign for each and every people rank, but it is going to give some comparison, like it will give first always that value will be there, no, that value it is going to
Hmm.
show with the current values. You will get that,
Okay,
how you are going to use, you will get that what is the use of that. Okay.
sure. Thanks.
Yeah. And if you're going for some advanced calculations will be there. Here we have something like top and bottom and based on profits. If we need to show this, all these things will be there. Here, I think we know, we have seen in sets itself, if I need to show some top end and bottom and top end and bottom end sales, we can show based on the set, like a set, and we are going to create combined set will be there. Likewise, we are going to create, if we are going to create some calculated field, if I'm going to create some calculated field will be there. Based on that calculated field, if we're going to use this, all these things, I feel we are going to get all these things will be there. However, it should be there. And then, like we have something, like we have some sales value will be there, like they're going to ask like YTD year over sales will be there, month over sales will be there. Likewise, YTD, MTD, and QTD will be there. Likewise, we have some three functions will be there. That functions is going to be one of the important functions, and we are going to use all the functions to get the exact results will be there. Likewise, we are going to make use of all these things to get whatever results should be there. This each and everything depends on us, depends on our thinking, and depends on the things we are going to get all these things. This is what how exactly it is going to be used. And here we have to discuss something will be there which is known as PTD will be there. Like PTD stands for period to date. Okay, period to date will be there. Using this, using these calculations, using this calculation, we can compute the different, we can compute the different values like YTD, comma QTD, comma MTD, etc. Like YTD is nothing but year to, like period to date will be there, like their year to date will be there, quarter to date will be there, month to date will be there. Likewise, we can do all these things. Here first one should be like YTD will be there. Here if you're going to see some YTD functions, YTD stands for year to date. We know that it stands for year to date. Year to date will be there, and in it indicates the, it indicates the period starting from starting day of the current year, starting day of the current year, and the current date. Current year and current date will be there, and to current date will be there. And here, and current date means it is going to give for current date. For example, if I'm going to use how exactly it is going to give means, here if I'm going to give for example 1 Jan, if I'm going to 1 Jan 2015 will be there, and 2 1 November, like whatever May 2016 will be there. Likewise, it is going to give the value will be there, like current year will be there as well as current date will be there. Likewise, it is going to give current year means it should be 2000. 16 we need to give, and this should be 2016 to current date should be 1 May 2016 will be there. Likewise, it is going to give the values will be there, and here, and it should be going to give likewise, and QTD is nothing but QTD. It stands for quarter to date. It stands for quarter to date. It stands for quarter to date. It indicates the period starting from starting day of the current year, starting from starting day of the current year, like, no, sorry, it should be current quarter to the current date will be there. Likewise, it is going to indicate and it is going to give the value. Suppose if here we are using like current quarter means April will be there. It is going to give April value like 1 dash. I'm going to give 1 dash April of 2016 will be there. This is the current quarter. And 2 current date means whatever we have something like today should be 09 dash 05 dash, like, if I'm going to use some May and I'm going to use 2016 will be that should be value will be there. And we have something after completion of this, we have something known as MTD will be there. MTD is nothing but month to date will be there. Here month to date will be there. Date will be there. Here we are going to, here we will start, it will show us the starting date of the month. It will show us the starting day of the month starting day of the month, as well as current day of the month. Current day of the month will be there. Likewise, it is going to show and it is going to give the outputs will be there. Here, if you are getting that type of output, here I am going to get 1 May 16 will be there, and we have something we are going to get till 09 May 16 will be there. Likewise, it is going to give and it is going to give the values for YTD, MTD and QTD will be there. And likewise, we have something known as P by TTD will be there. If I'm going to save this, I'm going to save, and here we have something like P by comma YTT will be there. YTD will be there, and we have something QY YTD will be there, and MY YT QYQTD will be there. Sorry, PY, it should be QTD will be there, and PY we have something should be MTD will be there. Here, whatever we are getting, this all the values will be there. Previous year, whatever we have, previous year to date, previous year quarter to date, and previous year month to date. Likewise, we are going to get all the values. Depends on that values, we are going to get the values. How exactly you can make use of to get the outputs will be there. Likewise, we are going to write some calculations will be there. By the help of that calculations, you are going to get. Here, if I'm going to give whatever you have some calculation, some task will be there, depends on the task. You are going to find the previous year how much of sales will be there and how it is going to contributing and what exactly each and every value is going to give us the things. I'm going to write something like for YTD and we can see some practicals also in upcoming class. In YTD is nothing but year to date will be there. Year to date function will be there. If I'm going to write the function should be if order date whatever we have some function will be there if order date less than or equal to if I'm going to give some today function. Today means it is going to give the today date and I'm going to give some date differences of if I'm going to give for year comma I'm going to give for year and order date. If I'm going to give year and order date means order date will be there comma we have some once again some today function will be there. If I'm going to write till here equal to something if I'm going to write 8 then sales if I'm going to give equal to 8 if I'm going to give equal to something like 5 then I'm going to give sales else if I'm going to give some other thing should be else 0 if I'm going to give 0 and finally always if statement need to end with end statement. Here what it means if order date equal to less than today. Less than today means it is going to give date, time and year will be there and date difference of year. I want date difference will be there. Whatever year should be there. Date difference of year, order date, comma today. Order date should be we have something so many order dates will be there. Like whatever we have order date in that order date we have 2010, 11, 12, 13 likewise will be there and today should be whatever we have some 2016 will be there we want date difference should be year. The date difference is equal to something like 5. Then it need to show as sales, else it need to show as 0. Likewise, we are going to make use of some functions will be these functions we are going to see how exactly we are going to get the functions will be there. And these functions we are going to see what is the use of each and everything and what exactly it is going to use and all the things will be there. Here we have something known as some data will be there. In this level if you are going to make use of some data that we have something here fundamental theorem. If you are going to fundamental theorem of the table calculation will be there. Table calculations will be there. Here if you are going to see fundamental theorem for table calculation, it will be simple theorem will be there. In table calculation, each and every dimension place any one of the following two rules will be there. In calculation, in table calculation, each and every dimension is going to place, each and every dimension is place any one of the following to any one of the following two. That the two things are following two will be there and they should be it will split table calculation into windows or partition fields. We have seen partition and addressing will be the same thing also here. It will split it will splits it will split the table calculation. It will split the table calculation. It will split the table calculation into windows or partitioning fields will be there. And once again, next one should be dimensions can be used can be used to provide the numbers or or to compute or to compute the numbers to be used. Compute the numbers to be used in the visualization. To be used in the visualization to get the results. Visualization to get the results will be that should we are going to call as addressing will be there. It act as addressing will be there. Addressing will be it should be simple thing we know from starting onwards. The table clarification is going to split as two parts. One should be partitioning field and the other one should be addressing field. By making use of both the things we are going to get the all these things here. If you make multiple, one point should be we need to keep here. If you make multiple fields into partitioning the order, it is not important to where in addressing order is compulsory or important. If in partitioning itself, if we have data at partitioning level itself in order, partitioning level itself in order, there is no, once again we need to place, once again we need to, there is no need to place once again in, no need to place once again in order, once again in order at addressing level, at addressing level. Likewise, it is going to helpful and it is going to give the output for us. This is how this function is going to work. And if you are going to make use of something here, we have something like some question will be that they're going to give some scenario for us. Here we need to show like display the most recent sale transaction value for every customer. How to show that? I have some scenario will be that display most recent sale for every customer. Each and every customer most recent sale we require. How to do this?
So is it like we'll have to show it in a cross tab panel?
Yes, anyway, you can show it should be in textual data.
Okay, so like we first drag the customer name
Yes,
and into the cross tab, and then the second thing would be uh, the last transaction date.
like order date. You need to drag
Sale,
something like
yes,
order date. And
yes,
how you know
yes.
last transaction date?
We'll have to split the order date into last transaction. So the order date, okay, we can sort or select the last order date from. Uh, so each customer will have multiple orders, right? So
Yes,
we
exactly.
can uh, we can select only the latest one.
Yes, we need to select means for one or two members we can select manually. If there should be hundreds of people will be there, how we are going to select manually for each and everything? It should be a difficult task. For that purpose,
Yeah.
for that purpose we have seen something like manually. We have seen a function known as last. What it is going to give last? It is going to give the whoever the last purchase will be there, like a last starting value. It is going to give. So if I'm going to use last means who, how many customers we have, that many customer sales it is going to give. Suppose same function if I'm going to use at table level, no problem. This task we have some tomorrow practicals will be there. There I'm going to show all these things. Here we have some function will be at last. By the help of last function, I'm going to first of all we will drag some customer name order date into rows. For order date, change the format to we need to make as exact date. Then we need to assign with some sales value will be there. Then we are going to create some calculated field will be there. Based on that index calculation we are going to get, and we will see this function should be tomorrow some practicals we are going to see tomorrow. All these things should be some practicals will be there, and likewise we have some functions will be there here. Some other function which are known as statistical calculations will be there. In this level we have some statistical calculations will be there. If you are going for some statistical calculations, here we have first one should be Z score. This should be one of the thing we are not going to use. Sometimes there should might be a chance to work with Z score will be it's it's we are going to call as standard score. We are going to call it should be as a standard score will be also. Z score is nothing but Z score is nothing but standard score with the with the identity whether with the identity of whether standard deviation we have seen so many times standard deviation whether standard deviation is falling above or below the mean value above or below the mean value will be there, and this mean value is nothing but here if I'm going to make use of mean value is nothing but we don't have any symbol here. Here mean value will be there, and once it has been completed, if z score values we can identify the values, we can identify the identify the values identify the values whether the observation whether the observation is usual or unusual. Unusual will be there here. If z square is in between, we have some value will be there. If z square is in between, z square is in between plus 9.362, in between plus 1.9.1.962 minus 1.2 minus 1.96 minus 1.96 will be there. Then the observation is usual. If z square is above plus 1.96, then the observation is unusual. It should be we are going to call in between this. Then we are going to call. Then we will call as usual. They are going to ask one question like if the values are in between this and this, its observation should be usual or unusual, and otherwise they are going to ask what is usual and what is unusual in z square value. If the values in between values plus 1.96 to minus 1.96, then we are going to call as usual. If it is above the values, if the z square value, if the z score value is above the is more than more than plus 1.96, then we will call as unusual will be there, unusual. Likewise, we are going to make use of function, and we are going to get the values should be there. And if we have something, this value unusual will be there, and which having other name, or we have something overperformed also, and same value if the z square value is less than, if the z square z score z score is less than minus 1.96, then we will call as unusual only, unusual, and r It should be here. It should be overperform, and here it should be underperformed. Will be there underperform, but value should be unusual only. But overperform and underperform. Like if it is greater than plus 1.96, then it should be overperform. If it is less than minus 1.96, and it should be underperformed. Will be there. Likewise, it is going to make it. And here we have some formula will be there for this. And if I'm going to see, and we have some formula will be there here. If I'm going to write z equal to, we have some z equal to x minus mu by psi. Mu by, this should be symbol will be there. And here if you're going to see all these things, we are going to call x equal to, we are going to call the each observation we have something, and x equal to will be there, and we have something mean will be there, and we have something standard deviation will be there. This all these things will be there for us. And if I'm going to see how exactly it is going to work means, here if you're going to see, then x equal to, we are going to write some each observations will be there, observations, and we have something mean equal to, we are going to get something mean of all observation, mean of all observations. And if you're going to take something, it should be standard deviation. Whatever we have something like standard deviation of all observations, standard deviation of all observations will be there. All observations will be there. And once it has been completed, we have the function. This is how we are going to compute and how we are going to get the values for the z square visualization, and we will see some practicals in this how exactly we are going to get. And here we have, after completion of z square value, we have some other statistical calculation will be there. We have something correlation coefficients will be there. If I'm going to show, if we are going to see correlation and coefficient, this just we need to have a formula, at least idea about that formula, correlation. And if I'm going to give coefficient, so coefficient will be there. Here if I'm going to see this all these things how exactly it is going to work. Here with the correlation coefficient we can able to identify the relationship between two measures. If we have some two measures will be there, if we need to identify the relationship between both, we can get by the help of correlation coefficient. With the help of CC correlation coefficient, we can able to identify the relationship between, identify the relationship identify the relationship between two measures will be there. Here that should be the relationship should be either k should be positive or negative. The relationship between two measures, either it should be positive relationship between two measures, two measures either it should be either it should be it should be positive or negative. Either it should be positive or negative will be there. And once it has been completed, here positive correlationship indicates if value of first measure increase the automatic value. If we have something positive positive relationship indicate value of if value of first measure increase, if the value of first measure increases the automatically value of the second measure measure will increase. Automatically it will increase, the second measure will be there. And for this we have some formula will be there here. If I'm going to get how it should be, like if I'm going to take some examples will be there, and we have something measure 1 and measure 2 will be there. Measure 1 and we have some measure 2 will be there. Here whatever we have measure 1 should be, if I'm going to get like some experience will be there, depends on experience we have some package. If experience is increasing as well as package is also increasing, and discount will be there. If discount will be there and sales will be there, like if discounts are more and sales should be automatically, it is going to increase the sales. Likewise we are going to make use of all these things will be there. And we have one more thing like negative correlationship will be there. Negative correlationship will be there. Here whatever we are saying this, it indicates values of the, it will indicate the values, it will indicate the value of first, it will indicate the value of first measure increases, then automatically second measure will decrease, then automatically second measure is decrease, second measure will decrease. Likewise we have something like we have some high price will be there. If I'm going to give some measure will be there, measure 1 and measure 2 will be there. If I'm going to give, if we are giving some high price, automatically sale value is going to be decrease. High price and sale value will be decrease. And here if we have some formula will be there for that. Here I'm going to show that formula how exactly it is going to be. And there should be some value will be there. I'm going to give some R will be there. If I'm going to give some R equal to, we're going to get 1 by n minus 1, 1 by n minus 1, and here we have some sigma symbol will be there. Sigma I equal to 1, I equal to 1 will be there, and n will be there, and we have some xi, whatever we are giving some xi value will be there, starting values will be there, and it should be formula x I minus minus x bar will be divided by yes x, and yi minus y bar divided by yes yi minus y bar divided by yes y will be there, yes y will be there, will be there. X equal to here, if you're going to see, if you are going to see x equal to measure 1 and y equal to measure 2, x equal to measure 1, y equal to measure 2 will be there, y equal to measure 2 will be there, and here whatever we have some values will be there. X bar equal to mean of measure 1, x bar equal to mean of, like we have something will be there if we are going to, okay, and x bar equal to, we are going to get some x bar equal to mean of, like measure 1, if we have some x bar equal to mean of measure 1, mean of measure 1 will be there, measure 1, and y bar equal to mean of measure 2 will be there, as well as measure 2 will be there. Sx equal to standard deviation of m1 measure 1, and sy equal to standard deviation of measure 2 will be there. N equal to number of total observations will be there, and r is nothing but range. It should be range or rule will be there, ruler will be there. It should be in between values it is going to give. This is how we are going to make use and how to find the all the values will be there. Negative correlation shape. Negative correlation shape is nothing but it will indicate the values of first measure increases, then automatically second measure is going to be increase, and it is going to give the values for us. This is how exactly we are going to find the negative correlationship and correlation coefficient will be there. These two things should be important to get all these things will be there. This is how we are going to make use and how we are going to find the all these things what we have actually. Once these things has been completed and we have some most important things which is known as LODs will be there. Before going to LODs, we need to see all the practicals, whatever we have seen in advanced calculation. Tomorrow we are going to see practicals first of all, then we can see LODs will be there. Once LODs has been completed, then we have only server should be there. This is what exactly about today class. Any doubts still here, guys?